YouTubers. This video is going to be sort of comparing the iPhone 6s and the Galaxy, what is it, the S7, I believe? Yeah, the Galaxy S7. To kind of help, I know that there's a lot of back and forth between Apple and Android, and it kind of tends to be one of those things where people kind of are either one or the other, and there's some debate about which one is better, blah 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 blah. And I recently picked up a Galaxy S7, and I also have an iPhone 6s, so I've kind of had the opportunity to have both of them. And get to use both and kind of see the ins and outs on them. And I'm just an independent guy, don't work for either company, so I'm trying to give a real straightforward review of both, in case you are, maybe on the fence, don't know which one you're interested in, or you might have one and are thinking about switching to the other, that kind of thing. So just quick background. I started using an iPhone in maybe, I don't know, 2007, I guess. And that was right around the time, I believe, when iPhone first came out, kind of the first, touch screen and all that. Prior to that, I had used a variety of different phones. I believe the last one that I had used before switching to iPhone was actually a Samsung. It was not a touch screen. It still had the buttons on it, and I don't remember the model. That was a long time ago. But I went ahead and switched over to the iPhone. I've had iPhones ever since. So this is really my first experience stepping outside of the iPhone again. So, anyways, these are the two phones, obviously. This is the iPhone, this is the Galaxy. You can kind of see size-wise there, the Galaxy sits, the Galaxy sits a little bit bigger. Size-wise, they both are about the same in terms of the width, but the Galaxy's a little taller. The weight feels about the same, I would say. The Galaxy feels like it might be a little heavier. They both fit pretty nicely in the hand. I don't have particularly big or small hands. They're about average size, I would say. They fit pretty nicely. So to start off here, aesthetics. I mean, you can kind of see the Samsung has this sort of kind of almost chrome type finish to it. I forget exactly what the color scheme or whatever is called, but it's got a nice look to it. And then obviously you have the home button, and then on either side of that you have touch buttons, which really only light up when you use them. You've got the two buttons there on the side for the volume. Then you have one button on the side there which can wake up the device. And then basically the same thing on the iPhone. One thing that I do kind of like on the Galaxy is that the little kind of home screen button there thing or whatever is situated very nicely. It sits very nicely in the hand, whereas on the iPhone over here it's up higher, and so if you want to use that, you kind of have to use your pointer finger, whereas this you can use your thumb to hit that button. It's a little thing, but if you're using your phone a lot, the little things matter, right? The home screen buttons down here at the bottom, they're on the iPhone, they're on the Galaxy. Obviously you can see one is round, one is kind of like a rectangle or whatever. Um, they both have the touch, not the touch, the fingerprint unlock. Uh, I I kind of lean toward the round button on the iPhone. Again, that's just me, but the iPhone button is kind of sunk into the phone, whereas on the Galaxy it's raised up a little bit. Um, I kind of like it sunk in, like on the iPhone, me personally. And I like that it's round. It feels like when you're going to, thumbprint it or whatever, it just feels a little more ergonomic. Um, but that's kind of a preference thing. I know people love their Galaxies, and anyways, so moving on. Let's see the the screen layout. So unlock both of these. Okay, so you can kind of see the screen layout there. Okay, I have always been partial to the way the iPhone has theirs laid out. I mean, as you can see, they look very similar, and honestly, they operate very, very similar. The differences seem to be disappearing every time they release a new model. Um, but as you can see, they both use kind of the icons. You can do the folders. You can click and drag things around. Um, and it's got the little down here at the bottom on both. It has kind of your standard little toolbar down there for your phone and other things that you keep in there. Now that being said, I do like how the Galaxy. Let's see if I can get it. You can kind of see up there. It's got the temperature and your location and all that right there on the screen. I do kind of like that. That's handy. That's a small thing, but again, the little things. Whereas the iPhone really doesn't have that. It has it on the lock screen. If you pull down the menu, you can get to the weather, but it's not as out front as it is on the Galaxy. So that's a little thing. Most other things more or less operate in terms of the screens and the icons and all that. They operate very similar, in a very similar way. So that doesn't really lean me one way or the other between these two phones. Let's see. Now, one thing that is very popular for Android users is the ability to customize your phone, right? So if I bring up my unlock screen here, you can kind of see it's got the little snow falling, right? And when the Galaxy has what are called themes, which basically it has differing pictures for your lock screen, your home screen. It actually changes all the buttons, and some I think actually have particular ringtones and sounds that come with the thing, so you kind of get the whole experience or whatever of the theme. That's kind of cool. iPhone, I mean, you can change your lock screen, you can change your home screen, but the customization is not exactly to the degree of the Galaxy. If you care about that, if that's really important to you, to the point where it would influence which phone you choose, the Galaxy is going to have more options in terms of that. Now, me personally, the customization thing, it's interesting, it's nice, but it wouldn't really sway me toward this, toward the Galaxy, just for that alone. Moving into kind of the functionality of the phone, it seems like there are things that load quite a bit slower on the Galaxy than on the iPhone. In particular, when I've been browsing through the themes and such, it seems like it can take a while for that to load. there's just certain things on the Galaxy that seem like they take a little bit of time to load, whereas on the iPhone I don't really experience that. Now that being said, I'm not a tech guy, so I can't sit here and tell you that may not be related to the Wi-Fi or the signal. I have cable internet here with Wi-Fi and live in a major city, so I can't think of necessarily something that would be causing it like that. All things considered, the Galaxy runs pretty fast. It runs pretty smooth. I've connected to the same signal, same Wi-Fi with my iPhone, and didn't get any of those hang-ups. So in terms of speed of running things, I would say that the iPhone has got an edge on the Galaxy. Battery is another huge issue. Now, I haven't been talking extensively on I don't talk extensively on the phone anyways, but I haven't used the phone for talking extensively. I have used it for texting and Facebook and all those other things that do use battery. From what I can tell, it looks like the Samsung real world, not what they have written on the paper or whatever. The Samsung does seem to me to have better battery life. The iPhone isn't terrible, but we're just talking about better, right? Another feature that I do like on the Galaxy is that it will tell you how long your phone has to full charge. I don't think I've ever seen that on the iPhone. It may be buried somewhere. There may be a way. But on the Galaxy, it does have it right out front. And I do like that. That's kind of nifty. Camera, another big issue for people. They both have good cameras. I think, according to the specs, the Galaxy has a better camera. It definitely has a lot of features on right built in to the camera in terms of editing photos. It's got a really, really cool feature where you can actually take a picture of somebody's face, and it has portrait editing features, where basically, let's say you have acne or complexion on your face issues or something like that, you can actually smooth all that out. Like it's kind of crazy, but it has a feature where you can smooth that out. It's pretty unreal, and you can also adjust the size of your face and your eyes. I mean, it's kind of trippy. That's kind of cool. So it does have a lot of camera-related features that are nice. I take a lot of pictures with my camera. I've always had a lot of success with the iPhone. Pictures come out very nice. I use photo editing apps, and I go that route, and I get some really amazing pictures. One feature on the Galaxy camera-wise that is not really present on the iPhone is a really good zoom. The Galaxy, you can zoom in pretty far and still have a really good looking picture, whereas the iPhone, when you get to a certain point, it starts getting really grainy and pixelated. So that kind of sucks if you're trying to take pictures far away. I feel like the iPhone has a better focus, to where if you tap on the picture, it has a really good focus feature where it'll focus on whatever you're doing. The Galaxy does focus, but the Galaxy feels a little more like a real camera would, whereas the iPhone is a little bit more phony. Not phony as in fake, but phony as in cell phone-ish with its camera features, whereas the Galaxy, you can select a lot more options that you would be able to select and use on a regular digital camera. So that's pretty cool. I like trying to take a lot of close-up pictures. So if you're looking at trying to take, real close-up kind of pictures and stuff like that, the iPhone does really well. I've played with it a bit on the Galaxy, and you can get some good close-up pictures, but I feel like there's a little bit more of a learning curve with the Galaxy camera. So there's some basics on the camera. Call quality obviously is important. Just as a note, I purchased my iPhone, I think fall of last year, something like that. So technically it is older than this Galaxy, which I think came out like a month ago or something. So the Galaxy is going to have upgraded stuff that this doesn't, just by virtue of the fact that it came out later. So the call quality is really good on this. It's not terrible on the iPhone. I mean, I don't know why anybody would be looking for like Dolby Theater quality phone calls, but the Samsung does feel like it has a little bit of an edge in terms of the call quality and the volume of the speaker and those kinds of things. Let's see. One reason why I like Apple products in particular is the simplicity of the product. It feels very straightforward, feels very easy to find things. The Galaxy feels a lot more complex. It feels like there's a lot more going on. There's a lot more menus. There's a lot, just a lot more going on in terms of using the phone. If that's not a problem for you, if you're a younger person, younger people tend to be okay with that. If you're an older person, you might like the iPhone for the simplicity of the phone and use. It kind of depends on you. I like the straightforwardness of the iPhone personally. The Galaxy isn't incredibly complex. I mean, it's not, you know, advanced mathematics or anything, but it definitely is a little more complex to use. Let's see. The notice system on the Galaxy, in terms of your notifications, they both have like the lock screen notifications and such. I'd put them kind of about even, really. There is one feature that I like on the Galaxy that I actually liked originally before I switched to the iPhone, which is it has a little blinking LED indicator. It blinks different colors depending on what's going on. So like if you have a text message that you haven't seen or read, I believe it blinks a different color. I liked that originally because I could look at my phone, see the indicator, and know whether or not I had missed a call, missed a text message, something like that. Whereas the iPhone, there's no little indicator. You have to actually wake up your phone to see. Again, that's something that's small, but I like that. That way I know without having to screw with my phone. It's just kind of handy. And then the fingerprint option to unlock your phone, both of them have it. I had a little bit of trouble sort of initially setting it up on the Galaxy, but I think that was just a learning curve thing. They both unlock the phone extremely quick. I wouldn't rate one over the other either way. They both unlock really quickly and seem to be really, really good that way. Headphones. I wanted to mention that because I was actually extremely impressed with the Galaxy headphones, the Samsung headphones. They both come with a little pair of kind of stock headphones that have the little talk feature on there and buttons so you can control volume. The Samsung headphones definitely win. They come with 2 sizes of tips, and they just fit very nicely in the ear, and they're very comfortable. They sound good. Whereas the Apple, they've been rolling with the same just plastic nonsense for a long time. So the headphones on the Samsung definitely win. The actual built-in speaker, they both sound good. Again, the Samsung's a little newer, so you know it might be a little bit better, but they both fall about even. One thing that I did want to mention that matters to me personally, the Samsung, as I'm setting it up and I'm going through these different things, I felt like the Samsung was very intrusive. Now, what I mean by that is like they have an advanced voicemail feature that you can read your voicemail. It'll transcribe it so you don't have to listen to it. It's got some different things like that. If you read the little thing that pops up when you're going to set that up, it says they uh, reserve the right, or they will uh, store your voicemails for like 30 days in order to use that for improving quality. Da, 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 da. I personally just don't want anybody holding on to any of my calls or messages or anything. I've ran into that a few times on the Samsung, talking about it's going to store this or that, or it wants access to all this other stuff that I'm just like, you don't need access to all of that. That kind of bothers me. That being said, Apple may be doing the same thing or similar things. I just don't go through and read all of these terms of terms of use and all that. So Apple, they may very well be doing the exact same thing, but with the Samsung, it's definitely straight up telling you, hey, we may collect your texts or your voicemails, or and me personally, I don't really care why they're doing it. I live in America and have a reasonable right to privacy, so I don't like that. That's a big thing for me on this phone. I'm not fond of that at all, and I'm still deliberating which phone I'm gonna stick with. So there's that. I do like that you can get Apple Music on the Samsung. I was wondering about that. You can. If you don't know about Apple Music, I did a YouTube video on that. You should check it out. But anyhow, that's the basics of the iPhone 6s and the Samsung Galaxy S7. Used on the Verizon network, which I also did a video on Verizon versus AT&T, worth checking out. That's the basics. That's the rundown right there. If I missed anything, which I'm sure I did, because this is a very basic video, just trying to give you some insight. But if you have any questions or anything like that, of something that I didn't cover or whatever, please feel free to leave them down in the comment box, and I'll see if I can answer those for you. So I hope this was helpful and informative, and please check out my other videos and like them and subscribe and share and make the world a better place through sharing helpful things. So till next time,